Hey everyone, my name is Amy Cadora, and I'm the Chief Brand and Mission Officer here at Norwex. And just wanted to take a few minutes today to share maybe some of the key concerns that I have as I'm looking room by room at our homes, looking at the chemicals of concern that we may be using every day, and of course, the easy solutions that we have to make it simple and easy to transition from perhaps products you're using today that could be causing challenges for you from a cleaning standpoint, but also from an exposure to these potentially harmful chemicals over time as well. So, kind of starting with our kitchen, it's kind of hard for me sometimes to narrow this down, but I think the key chemicals that we might traditionally have been using in our kitchen, probably those products would include a chlorine bleach, so sodium hypochlorite. And bleach, I mean, I remember even my mom using bleach to clean. It's been kind of the go-to, right, to make sure you're really getting things clean. There's something about the smell of bleach that seems to signal to us that it's very, very clean. But part of the challenge with that is that chlorine bleach in general can be very irritating. It can release fumes, which we've all experienced, that can be very irritating, certainly for our lungs, our respiratory system, certainly for our skin, right? It can burn our skin and certainly can impact even the fumes our eyes as well. You know, not even thinking about getting the bleach or the chlorine bleach into our eyes, but just the fumes themselves. And their prolonged exposure can actually cause long-term respiratory issues and even skin burns. So you might find chlorine bleach in a lot of different products. It could be an all-purpose cleaner. It could be certainly a disinfecting cleaner, and something we want to be for sure on the lookout for. You probably experience yourself when you're in an enclosed area and you start coughing, even breathing difficulties. And if you are susceptible to asthma, using this type of product can really exacerbate those conditions. So that's the reason that I would say that's a key chemical for me that I look forward to getting rid of and being able to use Norwex products to get things clean, but without that sort of irritation, especially when we're thinking you're just going to be using Norwex and water. There is nothing simpler than using Norwex and dampening it with water to do an amazing clean in your kitchen. Excuse me. Oh, and before I forget, oftentimes we hear the warnings about be very careful with chlorine bleach because when or if it is combined with ammonia or other acids, that bleach can release a gas that is toxic to us, can cause very severe respiratory issues, and even chest pain. So it can be challenging to work with that particular ingredient overall, dangerous to us, certainly for our children. So that's why we like to look at alternatives like Norwex. The second one I would think about in the kitchen would be ammonia. Ammonia, you might find that in, say, a glass cleaner, maybe even a hard surface cleaner. And you're spraying it on your window. That means that again, you're getting the respiratory issues that can happen when you inhale it. It can cause coughing, like chlorine bleach. It can also cause eye irritation, and in high concentrations, it can also be toxic to us. So, again, you look at it and go, gosh, if all I have to use is a window cloth from Norwex and water, I don't even need ammonia to clean my surfaces, my windows at all, and get a gorgeous streak-free finish. So those are probably the two big ingredients, if I had to choose, that I love being able to get rid of and going to a kind of a cleaner, safer, better clean with just Norwex and water. All right, so then if we shift into the bathroom, this is another area I know where we like to use kind of, tough products, also tough ingredients to try to get our bathrooms what we think are clean. I would say that looking at toilet bowl cleaners with things like hydrochloric acid or other really, really strong acids to design to get rid of mineral deposits, while they can be super effective, they can also, again, cause the respiratory challenges, issues breathing them in, skin burns as well, and even eye damage if we're not handling them properly. And so when I think about a bathroom being a fairly enclosed area, that's also where I want to be really conscious of those products that I'm spraying and breathing. And that's why, again, I like to rely on our Norwex products because I know they're safe. I know they're not going to, I'm not at risk for those same challenges with some of these other toxic ingredients like the really hydrochloric acid. Um, I was thinking about that one. I'm looking at my notes, but I think, again, all-purpose bathroom cleaners that contain ammonia or that contain bleach, the same ingredients that we would use in the kitchen, we also tend to lean into for the bathroom. And they have the same issues there, maybe even more because you're in an enclosed area. All you have to do is turn many of those cleaners over, and it will tell you you really use this in a well ventilated area, which becomes challenging if you just have a fan that maybe hasn't even worked for a few years, or you don't have a window to get that circulation in. So the idea of again using just water and microfiber for most of the cleaning in the bathroom and then leaning into the products that, of course, we put through our comprehensive ingredient review and final product testing to ensure that we don't have chemicals of concern in it. There's a high confidence level for me when I look at those products and look to replace ammonia-based or hydrochloric acid-based products in the bathroom. Now, also in the bathroom, that's where we're applying most of our skincare products, right? Whether it's body care or hair care or facial care. And we're applying those products maybe even twice a day in some cases. There are estimates that women apply close to 168 different chemicals, different ingredients on our bodies every single day. And we are well aware that those ingredients, some of them are able to get into our body and sit there. They add to our body burden. So it's really important to be thinking about the ingredients that are in those products. And this is a hard one for me too, because I'm like, oh, there's so many different areas that I like to look at. But I would say the two ingredients that I like to avoid in personal care at a bare minimum are parabens and phthalates. Both of those ingredients are known endocrine disrupting chemicals, and that means that they have the potential to disrupt the natural hormone balance that we have in our bodies. And the research is accumulating more and more that disrupting that balance and giving us too much or too little of certain hormones or impacting the production of hormones has detrimental effects on our health. So those would be the two that I would work very hard to eliminate from personal care topical products. And of course, you don't need to worry about that with Norwex products. So I hope that's helpful, and I'll come back in a little bit and talk about two more rooms. Thank you. Bye bye.